Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Tang and SeleCT on Prion Terraces. Yes, this is a GM/pro level game. I think it was played on the Korean ladder. And let's get right on into it. In the bottom side of Prion Terraces, we have the red Zerg player representing Team All Inspiration. It is Tang. And in the top side of Prion Terraces, we have the blue Terran player representing Team Dignitas. It is SeleCT. Or Dignitas? Yeah, probably Dignitas. Anyway, SeleCT versus Tang, a TVZ on Prion Terraces. Now, here is a map that we see some very similar things occurring. So generally, Zerg wants to take this base first, because having a gold base first is awesome. And generally, Terran doesn't want to let that happen. So we've seen a lot of 3 Rax Reaper coming out of Terran players on this map as of late on my channel. Not sure if SeleCT is planning on doing that, or if he's just going to let Tang take this, or if Tang just might take a hatch here first. We'll see how he does. He might be a little bit intimidated going up against Mr. SeleCT here, and indeed he is taking the safer hatch first here at the regular blue. Inside this narrow little ramp, he could defend a little bit more easily. So, hey, Tang normally might have gone for this. I'm not entirely sure about his playstyle on this map altogether, but at this point, playing a little bit more conservatively. Meanwhile, SeleCT going for that barracks. Can't quite see what he's doing yet. There is a refinery with 2 workers on that refinery, not 3. I don't think I've seen this before. I doubt that SeleCT is making a mistake here. There we go. There's the 3rd one. He might have actually just missed that 3rd SCV, which is a little bit embarrassing for him. But to this point, I'm not sure that it makes too much of a difference. Immediately, we get a Marine. So Marine coming out, not going for a Reaper expand, not going for a 3 Rax Reaper. Gas is up for Tang. And the spawning pool is about 50% complete, ready to go. And an expansion on the way for SeleCT. All he's going to have to defend against any Lings that come up are going to be a few Marines here. He's going to definitely have the Marine count to do something about it. But if like 8 Lings showed up to deal with maybe 2 or 3 Marines, they could get surrounded, they could be killed, especially if speed is complete. And at this point, the gas collection for Tang indicates he's going to have speed available here in just a couple of minutes. He has a lot of minerals going for double queen. Oh, rather 1 queen and 4 Lings. Can't make that 2nd queen yet. There it is. There's the 2nd queen on the way. This hatchery hadn't quite popped out. SCV gets back and says, just standard opening here from Tang. Nothing to worry about at all. There's the factory coming up and a reactor. So Marine count going to get pretty darn high here for SeleCT. Also moving into that factory. It is the Destiny Cloud Fist Strike build. Somebody commented about that on my channel about 10 days ago or so. And I felt like that was a good name. So not Destiny Cloud Fist, because it's not a 111. It's not a barracks factory starport, but with the command center mixed in, Destiny Cloud Fist Strike. I like it because it's very effective, but at the same time, it's not a complete all-in. You still have this other base that you can mine from, you can fall back on if things don't go well in your first attack. It's very safe. It's also very aggressive. I like that name. Let's go for that from now on. Another barracks here too, so definitely going into more of the bio play. Likely going to have some Hellions coming on out of this factory in just a couple of seconds here as the reactor pops on, and indeed it is. 2 Hellions in production, so Tang not going for that 3rd hatch. Possibly going for a 2-base Roach Ravager type play. It's something I've seen from him before, where he likes going for these 2-base crazy aggressive things, and especially where Ravagers are so good against Terran at certain timings. I would not be surprised to see him do that at all. Inject's looking pretty good here too. Just some Lings playing defense, not doing much of anything. I would like to see Tang get out there and kind of do some searching around, maybe taking a look at these bases, see if anybody's taking them, see if SeleCT is taking a gold here. Maybe the Zelnaga watchtowers could be there as well, but not at this point. Lings are here. They almost have speed. Having speed is so crucial to deal with these Hellions. And the timing, there we go. Recognizing when the Hellions show up, pushing the queens on in there. Hellions checking for a 3rd, and they don't see one. So that says, okay, there is not a 3rd base, and the Hellions decide to go back home, possibly saying, I know it's a 2-base attack. I know there's something that has to be coming out of Tang here very quickly. And having all 4 of these extractors, what that tells me is it's likely going to be 2-base Muta. I would not be shocked at all if that's exactly what Tang is going for. He's not spending that gas on anything. He's not making a Roach Horn. He's not making a Baneling Nest. He's planning on defending this with queens and with Lings until he can get out that Spire. So here come the Hellions trying to snipe down creep tumors, almost getting that one, almost getting that one as well. They do get that creep tumor, but 2 of them here spreading that creep on out so fast. It spreads creep faster in Legacy of the Void, but it also recedes faster when the tumors get killed. So keep that in mind. Just poking out. Oh, losing the tumor. Ow. Don't like that at all. If you're Tang, send some queens out to shoo the Hellions away. Stop killing our creep tumors, you meanies. the Hellions back on out agreeably. There it is. There's the Spire. Tang is definitely getting a Spire here. 2-base Muta against a Medevac Marine type composition. Not fantastic, just because Marines absolutely tear Mutalisks apart in a direct confrontation. But if Tang can be mobile with them, start harassing back here, maybe picking off some supply depots there too, and then getting up enough of an army to deal with the Marines, this could work out for Tang. And now I'm sure SeleCT has to understand there's some crazy 2-base play coming out here. He doesn't know what it is. It definitely could be Roaches, it could be Ravagers, but he also needs to prepare for Mutas. The Queen's trying to stab on away, make sure those tumors don't die. No, losing a tumor anyway. Just a bad feeling. However, having 2 Creep Queens makes it so you can actually spread creep fairly effectively, even if you lose a couple of these tumors. I like what Tang is doing here. Coming up on the left side, and here comes the drop. Marines, Medevac, Hellions, going to transfer them into Hellbats. I don't know at this point here. Queen does get taken down. Moving right on in. There are Mutas, there are Roaches in production. Are there enough? This is a very strong push from SeleCT. The third hash trying to come up here too at the same time for Tang. All that are here are Lings. Not a good feeling at all if you're a Zerg player. The Roaches, are they going to pop at just the right moment? And they do! Roaches pop right on in. Lings from the top side, Lings from the bottom side, and actually cleaning up this bio ball fairly effectively, forcing a pickup and a retreat from SeleCT. Well, SeleCT getting out of there. Those Roaches popped up at the amazingly, perfectly opportune time. 5 drones died, 17 Lings, but 9 Marines, and a few Hellions too. It is 41 to 42 supply, or harvester count rather, 87 to 65 total supply in favor of Tang with this 2-base, soon to be 3-base economy. And man, he is so lucky those Roaches popped out exactly when they did, because he was going to lose this base for sure. There's no way Mutas were going to deal with that. No way Lings were going to deal with that. Roaches had to be the correct response, and they were. Creep spread, though, about halfway across the map. This is about the halfway point for this map. Looking fantastic from Tang. Combat Shield and Stim on the way for SeleCT. Continuing to make those barracks, planning on going bio. Ooh, Hellion smoked down immediately. Muta's not being super active, but that's A-okay. SeleCT here. 850 minerals lost versus 1,200 minerals and 25 gas lost, including 5 workers for Tang. So the Muta's going to try to get around here. There's a missile turret under construction. It will finish in just about 2 seconds. And how about up here? Also a missile turret. So SeleCT knows what to do against Mutas. Losing an Overlord, I think they're supply blocking Tang temporarily. Has 2 Overlords in production, but it won't be here for just a little bit. This might be a problem. Might be a problem for the Zerg player. Looking fantastic, though, is SeleCT. Again, with more Marines, more Medevacs, killing Overlords, trying to scout on this high ground. They're not safe. You can't hide from Marines with Medevac support. The Mutas are waiting for reinforcements to come down, but SeleCT is actually bringing them down in groups. So that's not going to help at all. Let's see if the Mutas can deal with this. And, oh, Medevac's back on out. Tank backs on out too, lowering the Marines to the low ground. But are there enough Mutas here to deal with this? No. Marines back on out. Good reaction time there by Tang, not losing a single Muta. Now they can use their tissue regeneration ability to regenerate their life and be more useful in the defense of the home. So it is now 48 to 44 harvesters. Tang does have this gold base, which is nice. But again, this 2-basing super Marine heavy composition here from SeleCT. Marines and tanks, Roaches, Ravagers coming on in here too. That single tank is going to get corrosive bile. No, it gets dodged immediately. Everything misses. Roaches and Ravagers. I think there might be more Roaches and Ravagers than Marines here. Not a good feeling at all if you're SeleCT. Corrosive bile taking out a Medevac. Super useful indeed, but these Marines do not want to die. They have +1 attack. They have Stim. They have that combat shield, but still lots of Ravagers here. Lots of Roaches. Corrosive bile actually taking out a couple Medevacs as they boost to retreat. A bit of a lucky shot there from Tang, but he made it happen. He did force SeleCT back home. Tank running as fast as it can too. Muta, be careful, Muta. Nope, Muta dies. Corrosive bile. No, do they? How did they not get that tank? I thought for sure they get the tank. Anyway, Marines and Marauder chasing back here, getting the Overseer, dodging the Corrosive bile strike. Again, it's pretty easy to do just because you can see where it's going to land when it lands. I guess because it's an instant damage type thing, it makes sense to have that kind of indication as to where it's going to be. Liberators have the circles. Storms are damage over time, so they don't have the little marker. But anyway, that's what Corrosive bile is all about. Tank taken down immediately. Lots of Roaches and Ravagers here trying to take down that tank. Is this enough Roaches to deal with this amount of Marines and Marauders? I don't know that it is, but they're actually pushing SeleCT back here. Actually might force a lift off of this third base. That'd be pretty nice indeed. SCVs pulled off the line, forced to defend their own base. Corrosive bile's landing and being dodged once again by SeleCT. Such an impressive use of dodge there. SCVs defending. SeleCT can't afford to lose these. Again, mostly because he has mules and can replace them pretty easily. All that's left here are a few roaches, some ravagers, no upgrades at all on these guys. +1/+1 is on the way, but not quite there yet. And Select with the counterattack. Did Tang overextend there? I don't know. He has roaches in production 10. Is it going to be enough to deal with this drop? That's a lot of medevacs here. And a tank, too, laying siege to this third base. Roaches swinging in from the right side. Corrosive Bile knocked down, forcing the Bile Ball back, if nothing else. Moving on up here. Wow. I would say stimming forward, but actually Tang doesn't have stim. But to that effect anyway, more and more Marauders and Marines are coming down from that top side. The pressure is going to get insane for Tang to this point. Can he kill the tank? He does kill the tank. That's a nice job here, but these Marauders are mean. They are ready to go. They do extra damage versus armored, which is what Queens and Roaches are. 17 Roaches in production, pulling the drones, trying to save this hatchery. Can the Roaches do it? I don't actually know. This base up here, too, for Tang. He has 2 gold bases versus 3 bases for the Terran, and losing this base entirely. Just done. Just absolutely gone. 56 to 31 Harvesters. Tang is in the lead. Morphing in Ravagers. He has Roaches. That +1/+1 just about to finish. I think he needs that to make this work. Select is stimming his way through everything. He wants to kill this base too. Coming up from behind, though, is Tang. Can he save the hatchery? It's getting focused. Corrosive Biles landed, and the hatchery does end up falling. Select gets it. Select gets the 4th base. And all the broodlings die. All right, so now Tang in the unenviable holy smokes, unenviable position of being on effectively 2 bases against the 3 base Terran, one of them who happens to be Select. Can Tang pull this out? I don't know if he has enough, though. That is a lot of bio, especially again with that +1/+1. Corrosive Bile is not hitting much of anything. Select too good on the micro for that. About a 200 average APM for both these players. 300 overall, 400 for Tang for a second there. Long distance mining here at his new 3rd base, trying desperately to stay in. He knows he has to be aggressive. He can't just sit back and let Select walk on in. Banelings might be a good idea at this point. There are just so many Marines stimming forward. The tanks here landing too. Corrosive Bile is actually getting a couple hits on top of those units. They're getting out of the range of the tank fire. Is Tang. He needs this to finish so bad. He needs that income. He is down. Actually, he's up 111 to 93 total supply, but more cost efficient is what Select has running here. How are the upgrades on these guys? Still +1/+1, not working on +2, surprisingly. So this Roach Ravager composition, again, we've seen our Zerg players get stuck on this composition for too long. Tang, I think, needs to move into Tier 3 at some point. Some Roaches gets getting melted. Bad rally point, I think. Corrosive Bile landing, dodging with the flying tanks. Roaches are still alive with that +1/+1. Losing a tank there, too. Corrosive Bile almost getting that other tank. Select gets it up just in time, picking up and boosting out with the Marauders that we're going to get acid saliva to death as well. There goes that +2 attack on the way for Select. What's Tang doing? Just more Roaches, more Ravagers. Again, you can get stuck here on a cycle. I'd love to see him tech up at some point here, but he really needs every unit that he can get in order to defend against Select here. Bad rally. No. Oh, he saves them that time. Where was that rally? Corrosive Bile preemptively coming down, actually hitting a medevac, but not quite killing it there. Focusing down the tank. No, lifting the tank. That's in danger there. A lot of Roaches and Ravagers and Lings rocking on in, forcing Select back now. The Bio Ball for Tang actually looking pretty big. A lot of these units are low on health, but you know what? They can still attack to full strength until they actually die. So keep that in mind, StarCraft 2 players. A couple Marines die for no reason. Corrosive Bile not hitting anything, more hitting his Roaches than anything else. And the tanks on the high ground causing a lot of problems here. Killing a couple Ravagers, actually. Ravager count pretty darn high. Free tank, free tank. Free tank for everybody. Corrosive Bile landing, killing, landing. These Marauders are being microed to within an inch of their lives by Select. Moving the tank. Yes! Keeping the tanks alive. More and more Roaches coming on up here. More Roaches in production. This is all we're going to see for a while here, folks, from Tang. But Marauders and Marines for Select here, too. That +1 attack is going to be massive for Select if he can do that. This base up and running. This base just about up and running. It's still 51 to 32 Harvesters. Resources lost tab has got to be insane. 11,800 minerals lost for Select. 1,800 gas. 13,600 minerals lost. 5,400 gas lost for Tang. Such gas-heavy losses. Quick pause there. Select complains that he's lagging just a little bit. Checks his ping. No big deal. Everything's fine. We're back on up. Roach Ravager here. That +2 attack just has finished up for Select just now. Good splits on everything, though. Picking up, landing, the tank taking damage, but getting picked up when it gets a little bit too hot. And Corrosive Bile's landing. A bunch of SCVs being pulled off the line, too. That's not a good sign for Select. He can't lose this many workers, but he is. The worker count is plummeting now. 18 for Tang, or for Select, but can he hang on? Can Select make it worth it? Corrosive Bile's landing. Mules pulled off to attack as well. That's insane. More Marines coming on down to defend here. There are 3 Ravagers and a Roach on the right side, but everything gets completely cleaned up for Select. He now has this base up and running. He has Mules, but again, only 14 SCVs to this point. Tang on this Roach Ravager comp, making it work, making it happen. That creep thread got pushed back pretty far, huh? It was the middle of the map, but it's all the way back here now. Tang has been doing other things with his time, with his APM. Did not have time to actually worry about pushing that creep up the middle. So Select, again, being aggressive. There's no use in sitting and licking your wounds, says Select. It's time to go in and kill some stuff. Checks for a base here. There's not one. That has to make him feel pretty good, but there's this one as well, flying over. There's the creep. Tang now knows the push is coming. Is it going to move into the main base? Where's it going to go? It is! It's moving up into the main. Roaches, Ravagers. No, it's a fake out landing here instead at the 3rd base. Are there enough units here from the high ground here too? Corrosive Bile does manage to get a tank. Finally gets it. Everybody gets murdered though. Queen's stabbing away from the ground. These medevacs are very, very low on health. Good. Queen takes one down. Can it get another one? Yes. Picks up another one too. 2 kills. It is a Predator. Small drop back here dealt with by Roaches. Moving bulk of his forces is Tang up the middle here. All that are left are a few Marines and Marauders. It might be enough to deal with this, but there's no medevac support. Oh, 1 medevac rather. Okay. Pretty good. Corrosive Bile killing a Marine there, but there's just too many Marines, too many Ravagers trying to get rid of individual units, pushing his way up into the natural. Is he overextending here? That is the question. Using Corrosive Bile on a non-existing bunker. That's the problem with the delay on that particular thing, but standing in here is Select again, stimming back, stimming, kiting, doing the best that he can, but standing on in. More Marines coming down from the top side. The natural base is under control of Tang right now. Can he get up this ramp? Shouldn't be a problem with the Corrosive Bile landing, forcing Select back. Not much hitting much of anything at all. Just worming his way up into the main base here, and the units for Select are getting lower and lower. It's 126 to 43 total supply. Roach Ravager might have done it here in a TV or a ZVT, ladies and gentlemen. The means of production are being destroyed for Select. He's trying to hold on as best he can with a small cadre of Marines here with that +2/+2. They can deal with small groups of Marines, but when everybody shows up here for Tang, not going to work at all. Corrosive Bile's landing, hitting his own Roaches, actually killing a Roach there. Corrosive Bile is dangerous. Use that wisely, Zerg players. Holding on. It's a last stand for Select. He's trying to make this thing happen, using the medevacs to pick up and flee away with these units that are still alive, trying to outrange stuff, trying to be healed up by these multi-purpose medevacs here. Getting rid of the starport. No more medevac production at all. That is a problem. Can he get the starport? It's going to burn down at some point. I'm not sure if the medevac's going to come out instead. This base under attack by Roaches too. Reinforcing units everywhere. And a GG from Select. Select is defeated. Tang's victorious, and Select has left the game. Well, that was action-packed, wouldn't you say? I mean, was there ever more than like a minute or two that nothing was happening on the map? I don't think that there was on this particular game. So, holy smokes. Both players playing so hard. Select almost 300 average APM. Tang at 263. Taking another base here, too. And I know what I said, that Terrans can actually afford to lose SCVs to a certain extent, but man, when you lose that many, 47 being, it's really hard to come back, and that's what Select had the problem with. So that's it for me. Well played by Tang, well played by Select, and yeah. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.